Hello everyone and welcome to your 9th Grasshopper tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn about dispatch and cull pattern. So let's start. Okay. The first thing you want to do is draw a circle. So we'll draw a circle in Rhino. And then what you do is you drag multiple points. So just click here and then just draw as much points as you can. Just click around the circle, of course. Okay, then hit enter or spacebar or your right mouse click. Okay, and then in Grasshopper just double click and type in point and then hit set multiple points and then select all your points, hit enter, double click and then get a curve. Right click on the curve and set in your circle as your one curve. Okay, so now what you notice, we have a point and we have a curve. What we need to do is we need a point in the curve itself because we want to make a rule. Okay, so what you do to get any point in any curve you have, whether it's a circle or a curve like shape or whatever, what you do is we get something called evaluate curve. So just click and write evaluate, not evaluate. This evaluate is for like formulas. You want this one, which is evaluate curve. So when you click on evaluate curve, you see that it needs two things. It needs a curve and it needs a number. So just connect the curve to the C and then get in a number slider. So just click and write slider. Right click, hit edit. We want to, and then in here we'll go and write 50. Let's go with 100. Hit OK. Okay, so what it does, if you just connect this slider to the number here, you notice that, I don't know if you did, but there's a new point in the circle itself. And to see this point, just move in your slider, and you see that the point is moving around the circle. And because I made it a little bit of big number, you can see that once it reaches, it completes a full turn or a full circle, it turns into orange. So it stops probably like at 50, I think, or yeah, somewhere around there. So this is the point we have. Okay, now when we're done, what we want to do is calculate the distance between this point and the points that are surrounding it. So what we do, just double click and type in distance. And what you want the distance between all these points and the point which is here. See, we have a point here, which is a new point on the curve, and just connect it to the B. So nothing happens, but if you just hover over the D, you can see that we have a bunch of distances between this curve, this point. Okay, wait, I'll show you something. Now if you just double click and hit panel, okay, and just connect it to the panel, you can see that we have lots of distances between the point, which is the point, this point here, and the points around it. So like if you move in this point, you can see that all distances are different between this point and the multiple points around the curve. Okay, now just delete this. What we want to do is we want to make some type of a rule, and in the rule here we're going to use something which is like more of a true and false. So just double click. If you type in smaller, you can choose also larger, but I'll go with smaller. Oh no, I want larger now. Okay, larger than. Okay, so larger than, this is our rule now. So what we want to do is, what you need distances. We have a list of distances, and if it's larger than, then. If it's not, then. Okay, so we can see larger than, larger than equals. Okay, so what I want to do is get in a slider. So just type in slider, right click and hit edit, and then two numbers, we'll go with 3. Okay, so what it says, if the distances, so just connect the distances to A and you have the number slider, if the distance is larger than 1 or 2 or 3, then something will happen. Now we can't see anything here now because we're not done yet, but this is a really important part. Now after you're finished, so like if you hover over here, we can see the true and false statement which I was talking about. So let's just double click and type in panel, and if you just connected, you can see that some points will be true and some points will be false. Like some points are not larger than 11.35 and some points are larger than 11.35 or whatever number you write here. So see, we can see that true and false changes when you change the slider, the number in the slider here. So just delete this. Now is what the tutorial is talking about. It's called the dispatch and the cull pattern. So first thing, we're going to choose the cull pattern. Cull pattern. There. So in the cull pattern, you need two lists. Okay, I mean one list and one row. So the list I'm going to choose is the points here. So just connect the points to the list because we have here a bunch of lists, and you can see like we have already some points which are highlighted, and then we will connect. So this is an entire rule here, which is a point with a distance, and it has a rule like if it's larger than, if the distance from the point is larger than, then what you do. So just connect it here. So we have 2 points. If you double click and then just say what you want the result to be, so let's say I want a sphere. Okay, and just connect the list to the base. You can see that what happened is whatever number that is larger than whatever distance that is from the point, where's the point, here's the point, which is larger than 15 point whatever, or whatever number we have here, if it's larger than that, then just create a sphere. It's cool, huh? Because why it's cool? Because if you move the point itself here, you can see that these they do change based on the rule that we put. So like if you make this lower number or higher number, then you can see that you can actually it changes the spheres. Now, but the difference between cull pattern and dispatch is really it's not that much, because in cull pattern you have what it says. If it's larger than, just make a sphere and then ignore or delete all the other, like don't do anything that it's a false statement. But if you go with dispatch actually divides it into 2. Like if it is true, then what you do, even if it's false, then what you do. So just click in dispatch. Oops, hey. Okay, not Rhino, over here, dispatch. Okay, so dispatch, same thing, like you need a list and you need a rule. So if you just connect the points to the list, and then connect the rule to the pattern. Oh, really? Interesting. And then you have two sets, so like sphere or box. Now what box you want to do is we'll go with the center box, this one. So you just connect it here, and then you connect this here. You can see something really cool. So what it says, we have a list of points, okay? In the cull pattern, it ignored every false statement, but in the dispatch, it gave a chance, like if it's false, what to do. So whatever is not larger than whatever 15.55, then make a box. And whatever is more than 15.55, then you create a sphere. And you can actually play with this, like you can see that you can move the point, and whatever is larger than 15.55, it becomes a sphere, and whatever is less, it turns into a box. So I'm not sure if this is a little bit hard for a beginner, but it's actually something to look up to. You can change this into cull pattern, you can change this into smaller than, and let's say if we make smaller than statement. Okay, and then we just connect the distances here and this here, delete this, and here. So there. You see that you can, if it's smaller than what it does. Okay, so if you have any questions, please comment and like, and yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is about it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.